right, it is nine o'clock. I'm going to call to order the study session for June 9th. This is the sanitary district. And Madam Clerk, you have a roll call, please.
Yes. Director Nicole Wiltshire.
Here.
Director Cheyenne Wright. Secretary Arthur Perry.
Here.
Vice President Bob Uden.
Here.
And President Mike Schaefer. Thank you.
Public comments. This is the time for public comments. Anyone wishing to speak items that are purview but not on the agenda. We have any written or any. Okay. And let's go to closed session. And for any of you that are out here, before I ever announce closed session, when Director Wright comes in, just roll. Yes. Okay, so we're going to adjourn to conference with legal counsel on anticipated litigation and a significant exposure to litigation. One case under Government Code 54956.9, subsection E 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we can go into closed session. Okay, we are back out of closed session regarding anticipated litigation exposure. One case, Government Code 54956.9, subset E234. And I will report that there is no reportable action to come out of the closed session. Okay, items of study. I don't see.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Items 1 and 2 needs to be postponed. David's on leave today, so we'll push that back to the July meeting.
Okay, so then we'll just discuss item 3.
Yes, and I'll turn this over to Angela Fatino, who will be doing this report.
Good morning, President Schaefer and members of the Board of Directors. Today I'm presenting the 2026 Outreach Plan for your review and feedback. Our public outreach is managed 2 a.m. Our public outreach is managed primarily by our district clerk/PIO department with critical operational support from CRM. Every print item, email, and digital advertisement we send has a direct purpose: to increase our waste diversion, encourage correct sorting, and promote valuable district programs. To ensure our outreach is highly effective, the 2026 plan relies on the demographic data from our 2025 community survey. The data shows that approximately 65% of our respondents are age 50 or older, and the communication preferences lean strongly toward traditional and direct digital channels. Specifically, 47% prefer direct mail, 45% for email, and only 9% prefer social media, with Facebook being the dominant platform. To reach this audience effectively while modernizing our approach, we have structured a balanced multi-platform outreach plan for the year. In Q1, we focused on seasonal diversion and 3-cart system awareness. This included our Christmas tree campaign, the distribution of the spring newsletter, targeted advertising of the CAC, and broadcasting our 3-cart system commercial across streaming platforms. For Q2, we leaned into interactive digital tools and high visibility campaigns. We launched a dedicated Recycle Coach campaign, participated in 3 community events with 2 more scheduled. We launched our 3-cart system DMV advertising campaign, which will run through May 2027, and we'll be publishing the summer newsletter at the end of the month. Moving into Q3, our focus remains on targeted education and public engagement. We will launch a Recycling Myths campaign to address sorting confusion, issue a What Goes Where postcard and Recycle Coach mailer to all trash customers, and we will have a major community presence at Concert in the Park. Our Eco Expo event is tentatively scheduled for the end of September, as well as the distribution of the fall newsletter. Finally, in Q4, we will wrap up the year by prioritizing holiday messaging and preventative maintenance. This includes focused advertising for the sewer inspection rebate program, our critical holiday and fog recycling campaigns, and the distribution of our winter newsletter. By utilizing these specific quarterly milestones, we can directly target the communication channels our customers prefer while continuing to modernize our outreach aesthetic. This concludes my report, and I look forward to your feedback.
Questions for Angela? Angela, is this the list of stuff that we presently do, or is some of it new stuff?
This is presently what we do, and it includes some new outreach ventures for us.
Could we, I think that we need, some additional outreach. Would that come at a different agenda report?
What type of outreach? We can include it. You have some feedback.
Like we once had a composting program workshop, Francine, somebody wrote it.
Mhm. I believe our solid waste department is working on a composting program for next year.
My question is, why wasn't something like that on the list?
So we've only, I mean, to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're including things that have already been kind of planned out that we know were occurring. We'll be including a proposed compost to that when we look at how to spend reserve funds, so it's something that's been approved or budgeted, and so we didn't include anything that hasn't been approved at this point, which would include some sort of composting.
Yeah, during the sewage rate study, I think Greg Wright asked us to develop a plan. My question is, when will that be forthcoming? A plan to justify the rate increase.
Well, my understanding was the plan to how to spend the excess fund balance we have in solid waste. And our plan was trying to work or shooting for next month in July. Present that to you.
So July
This year.
2026.
Yeah, next month.
That plan will be forthcoming.
Yes.
I only have one hearing aid.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So yes, to speak loud.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Staff, I appreciate all the things staff does. My hope for that plan would also include, how we address our CIP program. We had an asset management program that this board approved in probably 2006. And the budgeted rates for those programs have not changed with all practical purposes, and although we've had, reasonable inflation since then. Would that be the type of thing that would be included in that plan?
It's something we can like put in a newsletter to let the public know about our CIP outreach program and how it's funded and how we determine CIP projects. That's something would be ideal for the newsletter. Or put it on our website, social media, but I wouldn't put it like on a postcard or something like that.
Talk about a plan that the board will approve for adjusting the amount of money we spend on infrastructure, CIP.
Sure.
We determined when that plan was done with $1.7 million a year or 1.3 million something. That number has not changed.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we'd have to. I would suggest we'd come back in a study session and talk about that.
Thank you very much.
Battery recycling, when do we kick that off? I would assume second quarter.
That starts in August, is when we contact all the schools, and then the program officially begins in September when school
Yeah.
starts.
That's what I was hoping you'd say, because I'd like to see us get to the schools, at the very beginning, the schools pass out information to the students and to the parents about what's coming up for the year and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that's where I'd like to see us target that initial push. We've been pretty successful with the battery recycling program, I think, over the years, but I still think there's a huge amount left. Am I saying that right? I mean, people that just, and Julie would know better than us, that just throw them away. I mean, and we know what risks that there, so I think the sooner we get to get the kids excited about it, the better. So.
The school starts in August 17th.
Yeah, let's typically reach out as soon as school starts, get everybody on board, distribute the educational information, and then the leaders pick up. Instead of having one class at time,
You know, what happens at the high schools? The principal will talk to the activities director, and if that person is interested in it, like Costa Mesa's never interested in it. Because maybe they have too much work to do, I don't know. When we did it, and it still continues, it's not the activity directors, now it's the special ed department that's running. So you have to have a good contact with the school, that's the key for success.
Yeah, it really varies, and sometimes it's an administrator, someone in the front office, it could be a teacher or a vice principal, so we do try to get the best contact that we can for each school.
So how would we get the principal interested in doing this? Is it as hard?
Well, the principal's not gonna do it, he's gonna ask somebody else to do
No,
it.
I
That's-
think he's gonna.
Yeah, who do you write your letter to when you send it? You send it to the principal?
We have a list of contacts, like for the schools that are already participating, we already know who's managing the program, so we'll start with them. For schools that we've maybe never heard from, we'll make phone calls, we'll send emails, to whatever contacts we can get from like their website or that sort of
There's
thing.
been a big change in principals in Newport Mesa. Just coming into effect right now. So I don't know if you do send it to the principal, that's gonna be changing. There's like 4 or 5 principal changes, I know of, maybe 6.
Okay, we'll keep in mind when we're doing our outreach.
And it won't be finalized for a couple of weeks, but
Okay.
I have so many questions.
Go for it.
So we had talked in a previous session about goals. So do we have diversion, because a lot of this is for the diversion rate, right? So do we have any specific goals around the diversion rate?
Goals being, the goal right now is to achieve 75% diversion.
I'm sorry,
75% diversion, it's all,
Okay, so
yeah,
almost.
that hasn't changed yet, unless the board wants to bring that back for discussion, but that's always been the target we've been trying to reach 75%.
Right, okay, and we're in the 30s?
Yes, 39, so yes.
Let's leave it 75.
Yeah,
Not push any handles.
Okay, so I have a bunch of questions. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much. The design of the magnet is exactly what I was thinking of, so thank you so much for taking the effort for me. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking like big picture here, so stick with me. I know that we're really great at winning awards for the district. So are there any awards that we can win for like media outreach or raising version?
yeah.
I'm sure there are. We've applied before for CAPIO. It's the California Public Information Officer Organization, and they do have a lot of awards for public outreach. So we can definitely look into that again for specific categories, our commercial programs, things like that.
I think it would be great if we could tie this effort to like an outcome like that we could all be, I mean, not that we wouldn't all be part of raising version, but something that kind of says, look, this is what we did. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like we have a lot of extra opportunity that I'm not necessarily seeing here. This is fantastic, you guys did an incredible job. But if we're trying to reach, you mentioned in the report a younger demographic with streaming TV, radio, and short form video. Well, you didn't say short form video, that's what it meant. So I have a question. When you say a younger demographic, what are we talking?
I would say, yeah, 18 to 35 probably.
Okay, so streaming TV and radio, personally, in my opinion, I feel like this is like older than 35, because I feel like I see the ads on streaming TV all the time. I don't listen to radio, XM, listen to other things. So in terms of reaching a younger demographic, that leaves us with short form video on social media. And I was just at a Mesa Water meeting a couple of weeks ago, and they had a contest with the local high schools to make a video about Mesa Water. I think they do this every year. They did that last year and every year. So I thought that was something that maybe we could consider, because it gets the local community involved, it gets younger people involved. They're going to tell their parents about it. Now, obviously, that has to be coordinated with the school, like it's probably not something we could do next month, that needs to be arranged and coordinated. So, in the meantime, I think that I think that we could create short form video that can do a lot for us. Something that really captures public attention. And I think that we need some kind of consultant for that. I think that it would be wise to consider creating video that provide, I hate this term, but viral video. Creating something that people in the community find interesting or funny or whatever. And if you guys take a look at those videos that the students did for Miss Water, I thought they were pretty good. They were obviously like really low production quality, but that was kind of the point. And so they know it's from the community. It just helps if it's going out on social media. So I would recommend, that's kind of two things. One is like community generated content, and then there's also professionally generated content that I highly recommend that we think about doing. Just taking notes here. I'm curious, what's our ad spend? We're doing ads a lot, I see. So you guys know? Like, what are we spending per day, per campaign?
It's relatively low. We typically, at most, we spend $250 to $500 on a social media post and run it for like no, not per day, total for maybe 4 or 5 day campaigns.
Maybe around $50 a day for 5 days.
Are we running the ads or is someone else running the ads?
We run ads.
And then so do you know what the campaign objective is?
It's usually to get customers to our website.
Yeah, the Facebook ad campaign objective.
Yeah, so we put our goal to get people to our website
So traffic, website traffic isn't a specific goal. I know, sorry to beat a dead horse. Is that the specific Facebook ad campaign objective? There's like several different kinds.
Yes.
So website traffic is the objective.
Yeah, depending on the ad, but it's typically website traffic.
Got it. And so is there a metric that like we're trying to reach with those ads in terms of traffic?
Not specific, I mean, it all depends on the campaign. So like for Recycle Coach, it's to get more people to download the app. For a CAC campaign, it's to get more applications in. For compost events, to get more attendees. So it's all just to reiterate what we're doing, get them on the website, get their information, and then hopefully show up to the event, sign up for a committee, or get the app.
Yeah, I would say our metric is if it increases from previous year, then that's good. That's a win for us. That's our metric. We want to just see increased traffic.
Sure. So if I were running ads, the thing that I would want to make sure that I understood if I were running ads was like the actual numbers. And I think that it's really important to track that and reconcile it. You're spending money on the ads. Sure. So our goal is to have them download Recycle Coach, I wouldn't do the traffic ad. I would do a conversion ad. Because you want to know when they get past the registration for Recycle Coach. And so this is why I think maybe it might be good for us to just at least have a meeting with an advertising or a marketing consultant. They can talk to us about ads, how we can best leverage ads, and then I think they can give some direction on going a little bit above and beyond with our video, with our short form video. So if we're looking to reach younger people, don't take this the wrong way. I don't think the video that we've been doing is going to reach younger people. It's fantastic. It educates the public. It's fantastic. But if we have a specific goal of reaching younger people, 18 to 35, I think we need to have a marketing consultant who is that age and who has experience marketing to those people. I think that's it for me. Just make sure.
Can we clarify what short term?
The short form video is vertical video, like for mobile, like 3 minutes or under. Yeah.
I figured something's advanced, but.
Right. Yeah, unlike YouTube video, which is landscape format, 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
So I'm sorry, so that's something you find like on TikTok? Like a short term?
Reels.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that, I'm trying to think of an agency that has done that. They're all over the place, but I want to say it was something like the National Park Service that did a few things that was funny and it got people's attention, and it's just not what you expect from a government agency. And I think that's why it gets attention, because it's a serious thing being silly about a serious thing.
Yeah, and I know the younger generation is passing to TikTok. My daughter's one of them. She seems like she's always glued on TikTok. And so I've been talking to staff. Let's look at creating a TikTok account and let's start creating TikTok videos. So we have some younger employees that know just how to do that. I wouldn't know how to do that but there are people who know how to do that. So we're exploring using TikTok. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
And okay, I think that, thank you guys, I appreciate it.
In our survey, it was mainly done by, not younger people. It was not focused on, under a certain age or whatever. And in that survey, it said, a reasonably high percentage of people are not paying attention to social media. They're paying attention to the newsletter and email. And I support Director Wilshire's objective, but I want to make sure that audience is not left out. So we got, and maybe a media consultant can do that. I would hope that he can do that.
A marketing consultant could absolutely help us improve email subject lines,
Yeah.
improve deliverability, yes.
Okay, so I'm really excited that we're talking about this and finally got sort of like a master list of all that we do. I think it shows how much we do cover and the variety of the services that we offer. I feel like that's really common in local government, like we're doing so much and it's just people don't know about it, right? And so I'm also gonna kind of drill into like the metrics or the goals attached to each category type. For example, I think it was in your GM report about the engagement we're seeing with Recycle Coach. Could you just speak to that briefly? Because I think it's worth bragging about.
Yeah, sure. So we and Rourke, maybe you can help me with this. So there's two metrics that we follow on Recycle Coach. One is downloading on the app, right? And then also there's access to Cal Recycle on the website. And so we use both metrics. And so in the first 2.5 months, I believe it was for the app, I think there was about 150 people downloaded on their cell phone. Not bad, okay. But the most of the traffic was coming through the website. There was, I think, over almost 5,000 hits on the website. So people are going on to the website, clicking on Recycle Coach, and then they're typing in the what goes where line. And we got 5,000 hits in the 3 months. That's a good start. And so we're hoping to see that improved as you know, we're doing mail inserts with Mason Water District. We're mailing out postcards, which should be receiving the mail today. We've got huge events coming up. We got the fish fry event, concert in the park. So that's going to help get in the word. So I'm hoping the next couple of months, maybe we'll double that activity. So I'm really encouraged with what we're seeing.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised, like I think the API just being in the website as a plugin is great. Like it's great for us because it looks like it's our tool. It's great for them for the users because I think downloading an app is kind of cumbersome and it's sort of out of trend now, already. It's too many steps for someone, so just to be able to go on, it's our branding and to plug in an item, it's achieving what we want, it's fun, it's gamified. So I would almost say like, let's give up on trying to get people to download the app and only drive them to the website tool. Like, let's just embrace the usage we're already seeing. But I know we've been pushing it a lot, and Director Wiltshire already talked about the Facebook ads, but I want to talk about our mailers, which is I want to know that it's hard to know conversion on mailers, right? But we have these awesome QR codes on them. It would be great to see like, hey, campaign 1, that was more fun, garnered 10% QR code scans. But then this one that was a little more serious and had pictures on it, 5%, just so we can start basically for every single category, we have social media. We have email, mailers, community events. When we're talking about our plan, when we're gonna create a new plan, we're gonna attach spending increase to that. I wanna have some engagement goals in a column next to each category. For email, that's gonna be really easy. It could be opens. I'm sure we get responses, so that would maybe be more like customer support type responses, clicks. That's all trackable. With mail, we should definitely just stay on the QR code route because that's unfortunately the only way we could track it unless we wanted to do a unique URL. So we could do learn more at CMSD/recyclecoach1. And then we know if it's the source link is recycle coach 1, then it came from mailer 1 to the store,
Gotcha.
etc. Right? Same for events. Events should maybe somehow have their own unique conversion goal or link that we can track. So yeah, I think that would be like ideal for me and kind of to share with you guys, I feel like I have sort of both in my background. Like I run a direct to consumer like e-com company. So we do only email and only digital ads. Like that's all we have, and social media. But then running for office, you kind of learn that like ads just don't really work when you're really trying to target a very specific group of people. Like ads and even short form like video content is great for going broad and like for discovery. But if you are like only wanting to target a very select, like for example, just our customers, or for when you're running for office, it's just people that actually vote. Unfortunately, like not a lot of people vote. I did 7 mailers, all directly, all customized, and my concern with our mailers is that I think we need a graphic designer who really can who specializes in making things that stand out. And Costa Mesa is a very like trendy, artistic, like demographic, and so I think something beautiful would stand out. I worry that our mailers are a little text heavy. And if we possibly, I had an idea that for each demographic, well, actually, I'll start first with like our services. So oftentimes I'm trying to think about like what is someone's first service that they would experience with us, where they would actually have to maybe seek us out or like be curious. So things that come to mind for me are like when you first move here and you're trying to figure out what day trash pickup day is. Like that is a first moment where the inflection happens and you're like, oh, the Costa Mesa Sanitary District exists and I'm gonna go to them for information. So like a campaign targeted just about discover, and actually we have a really great tool on our website for that. I think we do a really good job. It's really easy to look it up and boom, there it is. For example, I've complained about this in the past in the city. Looking up what day street sweeping is in this city is terrible. You have to scroll in a PDF and like figure out which side of the street intersection you live on, and then like hopefully you got it right, So I think just a campaign on a specific service. Bulky household items is another service I think we do really well. It's a moment when someone's like, oh shoot, I need to use you guys. And then we have a really great like scheduling tool and it's free, So just a campaign on that, like just a mailer saying, moving out, bulky household items, scan here. Welcome to the neighborhood. Moving in, here's how you can check your trash day, Or want to sign up for delays on trash days. Boom. That's another thing. I do think our emails are really good too. So I'm kind of a fan of like direct communications and just about like how can we make them better. Like I do think they're working in a way because they're going direct to the customer. And I think we could feel really good about putting money behind making them better without feeling like it's experimental. you know? And then of course, the 3-card system is just gonna be this broad, continual behavior change. It feels different in nature to me because of that. It's not as direct of like, you have a problem, we solved it, we already have a great tool for you, it's easy. The 3-card system feels way more like psychological, or I think humor is always good. I think where I see some of the language we're embracing the grace language, like, hey, you're still figuring it out. We're here for you. No, don't feel bad about it. Like, trying is better than nothing. Like, I think that's been good. But yeah, I'd love to see, that's where I think being a little bit more creative or experimental is kind of what we're gonna have to do. Just because I think we're gonna get a lot of resistance. I think our kitchen pails are pretty powerful, like if we would be willing to, I'm just gonna stick with mailers or email, if we would be willing to say you can request them for free, just put it out there more. I go back to like, until you get a second trash can, you're not gonna recycle, or until you get a kitchen pail, you're not going to sort your organic waste. So unfortunately, I think we're really gonna have to like handhold people. I'm like, how do we get a second trash can? That's our next one, the magnets, like I think the magnets are super powerful. I also think the labels on the trash cans themselves, so I saw that we have a CRNR coordination. Like, they're the boots on the ground, I think, those, the stickers on the actual trash can lids, I think are very powerful. Even like, this is so funny, of all people, like, I have a trash can that doesn't have a lid on it, and I've been meaning to like reach out, get it replaced. But that's an example of a service that's an inflection point for our customers. Like, if I got a mailer and it was nice looking and it said like, do you need to request a new trash can? I'm like, that's free, here, just scan right here. I'd be like, wow, that's amazing.
Which card lid are you missing? You know which one it is?
It's just the trash one, it's the.
So you got that, so.
It's just gonna be.
The most dramatic way to ask for a trash can.
So listen to your address.
Yes. But yeah, I think when you're a homeowner or especially a renter and you have to go through your landlord, it's these things that you just, it's on the back burner and it does its job, right? I still put my trash in it. So, or when there was like a huge storm, literally I think we lost a trash can just like running down the road from the storm. So if we could ever get ahead of seasonality like that, I think that would be amazing. I want to say with the emergency, I think we did a great job of communication. And I saw just a lot of other like electeds or just influential people in the city like resharing our posts and our alerts. So it was cool to see like when it really mattered, I think we got the message out fast. I think people felt like reassured that everything's okay, and we let them know when things were right back up too. So that was amazing. And then yeah, finally, I think my last idea is, and to address the survey. So the survey, I'm hesitant to build too much of our plan based off of the survey, because when we looked into the survey this year, we left out renters. And we do service 2,500 units, or is it 2,500 properties? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but it's a small percentage.
Yeah, small percentage, but still a lot of people still can make a big impact. Those people are gonna skew younger. Also, I think just the type of people that respond to a survey are gonna skew older too. So what I would love to see in our plan is for each demographic, we have a different channel and a different goal.
When you say
So-
channel, what do you mean by channel?
Channel would be social media, email, paid ads, even, for example, our battery program, the channel is schools, the demographic is kids and families. And our goal, our engagement goal is X% of kids, or X% of batteries, pounds of batteries, or whatever. So for each, 18 to 30, those channels are gonna be digital channels, social media and email. I mean, I love the emails. I love the emails. I think the emails could be more topics related. Right now, they're kind of like factual. Like, hey, we have a meeting, or hey, the trash is delayed because it's a holiday. Maybe once a month we do like a highlights or service of the month. Did you know we do this? You know, like this is so common at the city. At the city, you can request a tree in front of your house free. And people still don't know about it. Like that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. If I'm a property owner, I can request in my easement a free tree. That's like a couple $100. Or a service we do that role where if you're a senior and we'll come and take it to the street for you. Oh my god, not only is that amazing, that makes us look really good. So I would love everyone to get, because maybe my elderly neighbor didn't check his mail, I saw it and I'm telling him about it, you know?
That's gonna be in the summer newsletter.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. So yeah, my final request would be for each demographic, we've identified the best channels for reaching out to them, and we are gonna have a goal for that demo. And obviously, this all ultimately is I'd like to see our diversion rates move like even a little bit. So far, it seems like nothing is moving the needle. So also, I would also be in support of some type of, marketing firm or even like an intern situation. Like, me, I'm hesitant to throw money at a consultant. We don't really need it. But I also feel like to identify maybe what our strengths and weaknesses are and then supplement it even with like a part-time hire. That's my thing. That's my kind of gripe with consultants. Sometimes I feel like, but dang, we just spent a year's worth of a salary on a consultant. I would have much rather built someone up in-house who feels equipped to take on this type of outreach program. And maybe they're like a recent grad or something, or have like a little bit of experience, but they're willing to take it on. So yeah, that is my feedback. What do you guys think about any of those ideas? That was a lot.
I wouldn't present all those at one time, would present 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It flows, that's my suggestion to you.
Well, I think I'm sitting here thinking, we don't have any issue having an ad hoc. We've got 2 people sitting up here that know a lot more about this stuff than 3 other people up here. And I think it's worthwhile for you guys to talk about maybe some kind of social media ad hoc committee. Have Cheyenne.
Or outreach ad hoc.
Is that-
Outreach ad hoc committee.
Yeah,
Yeah, more broad. I love that.
I don't know if it's my duty as president, but I think it behooves us to have the 2 ends be on that ad hoc committee and not the 3 in the middle. I didn't even know what shirt. The little you're talking about. There's and that's true, but that's just the way it is, the 3 of us are in age where you guys are gonna control this stuff. So let's get. I'm sure it will help you guys. I mean, I'm sitting here watching as Director Wright was talking, you guys scribbling. I think it's better you get into a setting where you can specifically talk about this stuff. So you guys are
I
willing
would
to
love
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do that, and everything I just talked about, like, I think in a meeting, you're right, I could jump into a doc with you guys and be more collaborative. Or we could find like examples, we could even vet people like together, like, we're gonna bring someone in and spend money on it, like, let's make sure they're actually good.
Gotta keep it straight. Spend time.
I don't wanna be there.
You tell.
Oh,
This is fun. I got many more interactions with that.
Of course, yeah.
well, just thinking, actually, I thought Mike read my mind, but I just written down.
Well, and I'm not saying that we've officially do an ad hoc committee on a study session. We'll have to do this as a board.
Yeah.
Action at a regular meeting. Okay.
You should have brought it up in the comments.
No, because it's relevant to what we're talking.
I have a comment, getting close. We should thank Julie, because she reposts everything that's online, I don't know if you see it. She reposts everything that we do.
But wait,
Then I
a
repost-
specific person also that only does all of our digital content, that is her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she could speak at our ad hoc meeting. If we decide.
Maybe we'll hire her.
Well, yeah, but, you know, I'm basically trying to learn more about on Instagram. And there's a feature on Instagram called trial reels. And I expect we qualify for that. But what it does is sends it to the world. And you get the number of responses. And so you can gauge some of what Cheyenne was talking about, by one simple action. If you're creating a content and it'll either get 10 views or it'll get 100,000 views. I know people that have gotten 100,000 views on that. And that would also cover, I'm trying to turn it on up.
It's all,
Yeah, probably my, nope. Anyway, you know, that's another way to get metric on some of the things we produce. And it's relatively easy, I believe. I'm trying to learn how to do it. So,
well, you guys have a good idea where.
Yes, thank you. It's good, a lot of good suggestions. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, just one more thing. I really like Director Wright's idea of cultivating in-house talent. And if that's something that we want to do, something that we can start with the marketing consultant is simply just getting an audit. So we can tell them what our goals are and basically let them look at everything that we're doing. Email, mail, social media, ads, and so they can look at everything, kind of give us, like I said, an audit of what needs to be done, suggestions, all these different things. So that's one thing I recommend. The other thing is I wouldn't hang on to this 90% of respondents saying that only 9% of respondents say that they prefer communication via social media. If someone needed to communicate something to me, I would definitely want email or mail, of course. But if we're talking about 65% of respondents for age 50 or older, those people are on social media. Like my parents are forwarding me videos. So like definitely they're wanting to watch video. So I think that there's a big opportunity. So that's it. That's all I have.
I still post pictures of my granddaughter. So, yeah. All right, let's move to Director Oral Communications and Comments. First communication is you're all set for Saturday. Orange Coast is all set.
Yep.
Start at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
With the event.
Yep.
For the directors, feel free to not get in their way, that you can hang at it. So if you need anything from us, let us know.
my garage is being empty.
I think we have some trading too. Second comment I had, and Julie, this is kind of back to what I was talking to you earlier. I was approached by two neighbors the other day, or not neighbors, they were out walking through my neighborhood. They live in the Agilon complex. You know where that is? Agilon. It's a senior gated closed community on Harbor Boulevard and Mesa Verde Drive East. Right on Harbor Boulevard. It's a huge complex. These two were telling me that they live there. They take their trash every day or whatever they need to, and they would go to chutes somewhere in their part of their building, and they have two, one for landfill and one for recycling. They don't have an organics one, but I'll come back to organics in a second. Apparently, the property managers or the owners of Agilon, because they're all rentals, I believe, is now charging their tenants. The tenants used to pay like $5 or $6 a month for trash service. Now they're paying over $50 a month because they have, I don't remember what they call it. It wouldn't be concierge. What's it?
Concierge.
It is
They come to their door and pick it up if they want.
and there isn't if you want. They were telling me that everybody has to do it. And I know we don't have that. We don't control that. But something they told me that was really strange is there's two big bins. There's a landfill and a blue top one for recycling. The guy that was talking to me was very specific about the fact that both of them get emptied in the same truck. He says there is only one truck that comes and empties, and then they also have a smaller organics cart. But he said the property has never told him what that green card is for. So they know now because I told them, but I don't know if this is something we want to contact the city about. It's a huge complex. I don't know if it's your. Yeah. They didn't know, they were supposed to call me back and they haven't. But it's stuff like that could affect some of what you guys have been talking about on the east side with rentals. It obviously has a relationship to our diversion rate because the city's controlling that. I just, if somebody could look into that, or and I could let these people know, hey, but this concierge thing's baloney as far as I'm concerned. How can they charge it? And they come pick it up. And everybody has to pay it. He didn't say it was mandatory or elective.
So I will go by and see, I don't know if that is an account served by CRNR, so just for clarification, anyone watching from the public. So, multifamily properties are open market, meaning there are 7 permitted haulers in the city of Costa Mesa. I can call Kevin Yaxola. Kevin manages the solid waste program for the city for all commercial, and let him know of some of the concerns. The unfortunate part is the open market is not set franchise rates like we have in many cities where the city sets the residential and commercial and everyone pays the same.
Right.
They can charge whatever they want to charge, and I don't think the city or anyone can do anything about it because I hate to say it, they could even be making money off of it or profit off it. Because that's, the hauler doesn't charge anything for that, they're probably hiring the company on their property that goes to each door and taking their trash to the proper receptacles and saying, oh, we're gonna charge you for that. When I lived in Arizona, I lived in a townhome, but it was an option. If I wanted just to put it out my front door, I could pay, they call it concierge service, rather than carry my stuff myself to the dumpster, I could pay for that, but it wasn't mandatory, everybody, it's an optional service that I could do if I wanted to. But I don't think anyone unfortunately can.
I don't know how many units are in that, but I guarantee that somebody's making money because if they're charging over $50.
Well, the property management company would be, that's their revenue, because they can also charge whatever they want. I mean, when you say $6 a month, that's really cheap. I know I lived in apartments over 10 years ago. I think my portion was about $20. That was when I lived in Arizona, but it was still $20. So that seemed really low. I could see that maybe they had to make a change.
Well, that's
because they
probably
weren't
waste management.
covering their costs.
Waste management's a lot more expensive.
It was waste management. That was just who picked me up.
Arizona.
Yeah, I live right across from the big golf course. Anyway, but I will definitely look into it and I'll report back to you if I find,
Thank
and then I can let Kevin know. We compete for that business, like it with other haulers, and sometimes we have had a hauler where someone called and said, well, I'm gonna go with this other hauler because they're not making us take organics. As soon as I hear that, I report it to the city.
Good.
Because we're complying with what the requirement is, and I'm losing business because someone else is not gonna provide it, and of course, they can do it cheaper when they're not providing all the required service. I have no problem turning in for that.
Good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
One comment. One comment. For 30 years, we've been able to find the prices that said, dollars charge. They doesn't even know, I would think.
No, and they don't set the prices, every hauler can charge whatever they want, if I had a hauler that basically wanted to try to steal all of this in the city, they could charge them $50 a month. They'd be doing it and losing money, but they could do that.
Have we ever tried to find on the PRA for that information?
I don't know.
I don't think we can, the city charges the franchise fee, it's up to the hauler to charge the rate.
So we make the city a
Contract
franchise
the
fee.
city would come.
No, they don't, rates aren't included, so they just dictate on, we have a non-exclusive franchise.
They've been doing this for 30 years at least.
There's only 3 cities in Orange County that are not franchised with a specific call for commercial, and that's Costa Mesa, Irvine, and Newport Beach. Residential is franchised, but commercial is not.
I talked to a friend who had a similar situation. And, I don't know who put the green card out, but it was labeled food waste. Well, it's green, but some of the tenants didn't have a clue what to do with it. And you know, that, I think
That's an old label that didn't get exchanged with the change in SB 1383. It used to just be for food scraps.
well, it came out after 1383. But
Oh, okay.
it came out. On the city, as I walk around, I've seen the same hauler pick up both commercial carts. You know, and in that case, you know, I walked around and there's X number of haulers. 5 or 6 different haulers, and they all, you know, put out different things. Some put out a blue cart, some put out a green cart, which is labeled food waste. And I think the city is chaotic in their processes.
Are all multifamily properties supposed to have both, those trash, landfill, recycling and food waste? Okay, can I talk to you?
Yes.
Sure.
I wanna just make a note for the record that a lot of, so Costa Mesa says 60% renters, so majority of people that I'm interacting with are renters, and I just wanted to go into complaint on behalf of them, that I do think when you're dealing with 7 different private companies that don't have to answer to local government, don't have to answer to a board, where there's no transparency, I'm seeing a lot of landlords taking advantage and profiting off of services that should be given at a fair rate or for free, because it's part of their contract to give it for free, but then they're charging renters for it. So what we heard in our city presentation is that they would have to go out and hire a bulky household pickup separate vendor to just randomly drive down the street and find bulky household items, because it's so difficult for renters to maneuver these processes. And so this is definitely an active conversation that I'm having with council members, potential candidates, that this just isn't working. And
I would add to that, that everything you covered is so much about, there's so much information, but people don't know. So as part of we do have a non-exclusive franchise agreement that still has requirements, and for multifamily properties, every hauler is required to pick up, for each hauler gets, 2 bulky pickups a year, 4 items per pickup. And the hauler, whoever has the trash account, has to provide the bulky service, but a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that bulky item pickup is included for a multifamily property.
Yes.
So again, it goes back to how
The renters have
information.
no idea.
Yeah,
The renters not being given educational material either. And I also own a business here, so I also feel that even if we have a warehouse, a huge warehouse, and we have a store, so we have a lot of traffic all the time. Even the experience of being a business owner here is so frustrating, because you'll see a trash truck drive right by you. They're not getting your trash though, they're getting 1 warehouse unit's trash and then leaving. So I think that traffic impact it's having on our roads and in our city is also a cost that we're absorbing to make room for so many other private haulers. It's crazy.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
We tried to initiate a single franchisee person that did the whole city, instead of 7 different trucks. We have 1 franchise fee, and that we always thought that the city could make an additional $4 million with that fee for the needs. But I don't know what they get down to the franchise costs for each 7. But we initiated that with the city back then, and they said no. But that would be my suggestion, since you have more city contacts, and I could.
Yeah, right
I
now,
would say that was and I think that's really a discussion between board members and city council members, saying, hey, I think we want to do the right thing for our city when it comes to meeting state mandated recycling goals. We have to go to single hauler. I mean, the fact that it's all separate is still surprising, especially after the newest legislation. It's all cities, unfortunately, that do not have an exclusive franchise with 1 provider. All are under a cap or some sort of compliance order with CalRecycle. Because how do you manage and make sure 7 or 8 haulers that are permitted in your city that are doing the right thing? It's a lot of work on staff, and it just doesn't happen.
I think right now I'm just in the stage where I'm like taking in a lot of people's stories and experiences and. You're right, because of the timing, it makes sense to like open it up for discussion, but also because we're 60% renters in this city. I'm not happy with like the service, the variety of service that they're receiving, and I'm not happy that it's just falling upon. If you have a good landlord or not.
And there's no push from the city on those property owners either.
Yeah. Because they're not answering to that.
Where I have, I'll just use Laguna Niguel's, there I'd say, the city will send you letters directly. We provide compliance reports on who has what services and who doesn't. And the city will issue a notice of violation. It comes from the city. And they're given, 90 days to comply. If they don't, they will face fines. But again, that's when you have an exclusive franchise and that's where they get involved. We show all of our documentation, how many times we've met with them, how many proposals we've given them to say, hey, you could save money even by having additional recycling programs. And when they ghost us or don't respond to any emails, then the city will jump in. And they do that. So I think we don't have that here.
And I just wanna say, we have the best public works department ever, like, they are so responsive to everything, like, extremely fast. And so I would even say that this just isn't up to par with how they deliver on street maintenance, sidewalk maintenance, park maintenance, so. So yeah, I think we're in the exploratory phase, and I just wanted it out there for what I'm hearing from residents.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing else, staff, anybody?
This is a comment.
Yeah. Did you have another comment?
Yeah.
Nice, all very good, right ahead.
I'll be interested in having Valier supplies with Mike Valier or his team with the cities, the current conversion of C 1383 has affected the city just like they've affected us. We only have 16% of the tonnage in the city. Commercial people have the other 84%. And so I'd be interested in what the city's numbers are, and also, I would be interested in a report on reserves. I'm on the Orange County Sand District, and there was a reserve that showed up. That I think I spoke to it about before. They have a 50% reserve for their CIP process. I don't know why it has to be that, but I was surprised when I heard that number. So I would be interested to see what our percentage for the CIP program is compared to the total reserve processes. I'll stop here.
All right, there's nothing else. Thank you guys very much. Alan, thank you for being with us this morning. Thanks. We are adjourned.